This looks like somewhere you go to be murdered.
I kind of like it. That's cute on the outside.
That's nice, yeah.
All of these need some work, honestly. Let's pretend that we have $2 million to spend.
You ready for how small these places are gonna be?
Like 100 square feet.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's cute.
I mean, that's cute.
These people have interesting taste. And by interesting, I mean bad.
It would need some work.
We could buy a whole building and start a bed and breakfast. That's cute, actually.
I don't want to run a bed and breakfast. It's
Yeah,
a lot
me
of
neither,
work.
actually. You hungry? Hello. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, March 1st, which is so crazy. But I'm so happy that it's March. It feels like we finally reached the light at the end of the tunnel. And at least in Nashville, I feel like March is definitely the mark of spring. Blair and I have just been hanging out this morning and dreaming. Every so often, I feel like we talk about plans for the future, but like very loose plans. So this morning we were looking at houses on Cape Cod because that is the ultimate dream. Like that would be a dream. The fantasy version of my life in my head is that we live in Boston. We have a house on Cape Cod. I'm creating content. I'm doing floral arrangements. I'm baking. I'm going to farmers markets. I'm doing art. Like this is my fantasy life. And you know, the setting can change. Like right now it's Cape Cod and it has been for a while, but that's where I'm at right now. Just to give you guys some insight. Something you need to tell me? I am gonna get a little bit ready for the day. Not too ready, because I'm gonna go for a walk, just so I don't feel gross and disheveled. On the agenda today, I want to go through my warm weather clothing because it's warm. And I'm also going to Australia in a few weeks now, which is crazy. It's like fall there, basically, like summer going into fall. It's really nice. Forecast looks great. It's in like the 70s during the day and then like the 60s or like upper 50s at night. Oh. I also feel like that weather is kind of hard to pack for because my cousin texted me who lives there and she was like, it's kind of unpredictable right now. Like it can feel pretty cold and then other days it can feel like summer. So a little unpredictable, a little tricky to pack for. I'm trying to wrap my head around what all I actually have and what I need loosely. What I feel like I need. I leave in a few weeks and I just don't want to be stressed. Like the week leading up to the trip, I feel like it's already gonna be frantic. Let's try to get it sorted today. I am pretty nervous about the flight, to be honest. It's gonna be such a long travel day. I'm trying to just see the positive aspects of it, but it's a battle. I'm flying through San Francisco, so that flight is gonna be 5 hours, which is already a long flight. And then I have a couple hours at the San Francisco airport, and then the flight to Sydney is 15 hours. I don't know, I'm just like panicking, especially with all the flight events that have been happening lately. And by events, I mean crashes. 15 hours, it's just so long. If anyone has any long haul flight tips and tricks, let me know. I feel like the first time I went to Australia, I just like dissociated for 15 straight hours. I just had the urge to paint, so I'm gonna do some watercolors. Like I said in the last video, I've been doing that drawing class, and I just find that I don't like drawing as much as painting. Looking through this, a lot of this is from 2021 when I was unemployed, and I was just like experimenting a lot, and I really like it. Like, this one I think it's another self-portrait, which like Is that narcissistic? I don't know, but I love the colors that I used. I think it's so weird, kind of, but I just think it's an interesting choice. I don't know. And like, I don't know if I would make that choice today. I kind of wonder if I wasn't able to get the color of my skin down in a way that I was liking, so I probably was just like, oh, let's do pink. I think a lot about the perspective of when I have kids and when they're old enough to look through my things and like see this. Like, I feel like if my mom did something like this of herself when she was 25, I would think it was so cool and I would frame it, you know? I don't know if anyone remembers this, and I feel like I didn't talk about it for some reason on YouTube / I wasn't really posting at that point, but back in like 2022, I made a digital print shop on Etsy. So I like drew little doodles and then... Why did that scare me? So bad. That was absolutely terrifying. Anyway, I made a digital print shop on Etsy. So I drew these little doodles and basically like airdropped them to my computer, went on Photoshop, and then created it digitally. And now, I don't even know if I remember how to do that, honestly, but just one of my little hobbies that I did for like 6 months. I have a bunch of cute little doodles from that. Also, does anyone remember when I had the vintage reselling business? Because, I mean, business is a very loose term, but I was selling vintage finds. I kind of want to get back to that. I look back on these little phases that I had and I'm like, I just don't understand why I quit so quickly. I think I convinced myself that I realized it wasn't what I wanted to do. I don't know, I think at the time I viewed them as career decisions. Like, this is what I'm going to do now, you know? Instead of just like, I'm doing this for fun. And I feel like they both could have turned into something, honestly. But I'm a quitter, I guess. I'm still thinking of what I would potentially want to do business-wise down the line. I think if I lived in like a lower cost of living town, I would open a little shop. Like probably a vintage shop with pottery from local artists, stationery, just like a little cute shop, you know? Maybe some clothing, I don't know. I think that would be cute. But for now, I'm just an accountant, so. I started all those things back when I didn't have a job. And I just wonder if there's ever going to be a moment that I'm like, this is what I want to do. And then like full force do that. Or if it's just going to feel exactly like it did when I started the Etsy shop and the vintage store, online store, where I was like, this is fun, but like, I don't know if this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? And how do you know what to do? I'm not really a jealous person or an envious person, just in general, but I find that the people, like content creators that I'm watching, that I feel that little tinge of envy, that kind of points me in the direction that I want to go, but the issue is like, how do I get there? For instance, Lola. She owns her pottery shop. She travels the world for 6 months of the year, and then the other 6 months she's in Australia, like, taking care of business. She does photography with her boyfriend, and they both have flexible jobs so they can just travel as much as they want, basically. That is just kind of my ideal life. Like, being creative, making money from being creative, and getting to travel for 6 months of the year. Like, sign me up. Another one is Margot Lee, who owns her own business. She's been a YouTuber for years. She owns a notebook business called No Particular Order. She's just like a business owner, lived in New York City for years, and then recently moved to London. The key takeaways for me, through line, is own my own business, have creative control, and like autonomy over my schedule, and flexibility to live where I want to live or to travel where I want to travel. It helps me in the sense of I know what not to do, but like I still just don't know how to get there if that makes sense. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. Because that's the vibe. Do I take the approach of just like living life, doing the things I'm interested in, and seeing where it takes me? Or do I like choose something and intentionally go down that path? I don't know. Because then if I do that, I'm not sure that it's like 100% authentic. If I would enjoy that, because I don't know. It's just complicated. I feel like right now, because I'm in a phase of not trying to control my life, I feel like I'm just going with the flow and like trying to think about it every once in a while, but not obsessing over what my future is going to be and what kind of business I could start, whatever. So maybe this resonated with someone, I don't know, but I'm also literally just painting little blobs. I just had my shit absolutely rocked at that massage. Like, wow. It actually hurt, and I had to ask for lighter pressure like 5 different times. And on my neck, my SCM muscle right here, like, so painful, but in the best way. I don't know how to describe it other than like it hurts so good. I need to drink so much water. I look like a wet rat. This is insane. I do not need all this.
Well, don't worry.
I do not need all this.
I'll eat whatever you don't. Oh,
So will
there
Jupes.
There she
Oh,
comes.
Jupes.
She's the trainer. You're a trainer. Welcome to the dark side.
There's honestly nothing like being home.